Discuss about the aerial photogrammetry part 2. I am Ajay Shilorkar, Assistant Professor from Nasik District Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samajas, Karmavir Advocate Baburao Ganpatrao Thakre, College of Engineering. In this graphical method, refer the figure number 1 for the better understanding. Consider the A and B are two camera stations. Okay, here the camera station A and here the camera station B. Camera station B. Let AB is the baseline of length AB. This is the A. Center to center distance between A and B is called as the baseline. AC and BC are the vertical plane of collimations alpha 1 and alpha 2. These are the angles alpha 1 and this angle is the another alpha 2. Are the angles made by the vertical plane with baseline AB at A and B respectively. Okay, at A and B, alpha 1 which is making the angle with A and alpha 2 which making the angle at B. Let Q be the point. This is the Q. Okay, this is the Q be the points which is to be located shown as Q on both the print as shown in figure 1b. Okay, this is the print P1, this is the print P1, this is the print P2, means photographs which is obtained at A, and this is a photograph which is obtained at B. Okay, this is the vertical here and horizontal here which is crossing here, and this point is called as the principal point. Similarly, on the photo 2, we obtained here the principal point, vertical here and horizontal here of that photothodolite. X1 be the distance of the point Q from the vertical here measured on point P1. This is the here X1. X1 is the distance of the point Q from the vertical here measured on point P1, and y1 be the distance of point Q from the horizontal here on the print P1 as shown in the figure 1b. Okay, this is the x1 and y1, and this is the line, this is the point Q, this is a small q. X2 be the distance of the point Q. X2 be the distance of the point Q. This point is referred as the Q, and this is the X2. X2 be the distance of the point Q from the vertical here measured on the point print P2 and Y2. This is a print P2 means photograph P2, and this is the Y2 be the distance of the point Q from the horizontal here measured on the print P2 as shown in the figure 1 2. Okay, plotting of point Q can be performed graphically as well as analytically. Method. In this method, the following procedure is commonly adopted. With suitable scale, the baseline is drawn, the line AC is drawn, which makes an angle alpha 1 with AB, and BC is drawn with the angle alpha 2. with BA. As shown in the figure 1a, a point R is fixed on the line AC at a distance d1 in front of A, and A is the distance BR is set on BC equal to R in front of B. Perpendicular are drawn on AC and BC through point R, and as shown in the figure 1a. Then RQ is measured equal to X and R dash Q dash is the measured equal to X2 along this perpendicular line on the same side as on the print. AQ and BQ are further prolonged so as to meet as point, which is the required positions Q on plan. Okay, now we move on basic informations which is related to the aerial photogrammetry. Mapping from the aerial photos is the best mapping procedure it developed for the most large project. Used successfully for the map varying in scale from 1 to 120 with contour interval as small as 1 feet. Topographic mapping is the most common from USGS updated and done this way, used to reconstruct a scale 3-dimensional optical model of the land surface using the stereo plotter. Then uses of aerial photos aids geological investigations, soil survey, land survey, tax mapping, reconnaissance and military intelligence, urban and regional development, transportation system investigations, quantity estimates, shore erosions, etc. Mathematical methods have been developed to make precise 3-dimensional measurements from photos. Survey stations. Photos has been used to take the geometric measurements of the human bodies, artificial human heart, large radio telescope, ship, dams, buildings, and very accurate reproductions. In general, it is not economical for the small project. The engineering photogrammetry define is the process of measuring image on a photographs. Okay, then modern photogrammetry also use radar imaging, radiant electromagnetic energy detections, and X-ray imaging called remote sensing. Photogrammetric camera, which is used in the aerial photogrammetry, this is the aerial camera Avio RC20 from the Leica, and then this is the schematic diagram of the aerial camera which is obtained from the T-Shunks 2005, which is source I have taken here. Then now the some parts of that aerial camera: inner core and focal plane. Inner core and focal plane. For metric camera, it is very important to keep the lens assembly fixed with respect to the focal plane. This is accomplished by the inner cone. It consists of a metal with low coefficient of thermal expansion so that the lens and the focal plane do not change their relative position. The focal plane contains fiducial mark, which defines the fiducial coordinate systems that serve as a reference system for metric photographs. The fiducial marks are either located at the corners or in the middle of the four sides. As shown in the outer cone and drive mechanism, as shown in the figure 2b, the outer cone supports the inner cone and holds the drive mechanism. The functions of the drive mechanism is to wind and trip the shutter, to operate the vacuum, and to advance the film between exposures. The vacuum assures that the film is firmly pressed against the image plane, where it remains flat during exposure. Non-flatness would not only decrease the image quality, blurring, but also displace point, particularly in the corner. Magazine. Obviously, the magazines hold the film both exposed and unexposed. A film roll is 120 meter long and provides 475 exposure. Okay, this is the one 120 meter long and 475 exposures. The magazine is also called the film cassette. It is detachable, allowing to interchange magazines during a flash flight missions. Type of aerial photographs. Aerial photographs are different types, which are follows. First type is type of aerial photographs on the basis of orientations of the camera axis. Okay, this is the camera axis is the perfectly vertical. This is the perfectly vertical. Okay, due to the types, due to that, this photographs is called as the vertical photographs. And aerial photographs taken with the camera axis, optical axis coinciding with the vertical to the ground is known as vertical photograph. Tilted photographs and aerial photographs in which the camera axis is uh, tilted by small amount less than 3 degree from vertical or perpendicular to the ground is known as the tilted photographs. Oblique photographs and aerial photographs taken keeping the camera axis tilted from the vertical is known as oblique aerial photographs. The common of tilt range from 30 degree to 60 degree. The advantages of the oblique photographs is that they cover large area and they also provide the side view of features. Aerial photographs. Oblique photographs are of two types: low oblique. Oblique photographs in which horizon is not seen, tilt is 30 degree. This is the low oblique photographs. This is low oblique photographs. And then high oblique photographs is which horizon is seen, tilt is 60 degree. Okay, this is the high oblique photograph. This is the axis of that camera. Okay, this is the camera axis which is making the 60 degree with vertical. Okay, this is the vertical line, and here we measure here this angle is equal to 60 degree. This angle is equal to 60 degree. Due to that, this is called as the high oblique. Okay, and in this case, suppose he is a vertical line when I am drawing here, then the angle is 30 degree. Angle is 30 degree, and due to that, this is called as the low oblique. Okay, here the 30 degree which is the angle which is making, this is the low oblique, and here is the high oblique. And now types of aerial photographs. The types of aerial photographs are on the basis of the angle coverage. Narrow angle photographs, angle of coverage is less than 60 degree. Then standard or normal angle photography, angle of coverage is of the order of 60 degree. Wide angle photographs, angle of coverage is of the order of 90 degree. Then super wide or of ultra wide photographs, angle of coverage is of the order of 120 degree. Okay, these are the with respect to these angles and coverage, angle of coverage, and then narrow angle photographs, standard or normal angle photographs, then wide angle photographs, and super wide or ultra wide photograph. Then so aerial photographs on the basis of special properties of film, filter, and photographic equipments. Panchromatic records only single band data. Record only single record only single band data, visible regions of the spectrum, and an IR records only red and IR portions of the EMS. Then panchromatic records only the single band data, visible regions of the spectrum. Then IR records only red and IR portions of the EMS. Color records all reflections of the visible portions in color or natural colors. Then thermal imagery records only thermal IR emissions of the objects. Then radar imagery records reflections of the radar waves. Spectrazonal. Then types of aerial photographs on the basis of the lens system: single lens photographs, then multiple lens photographs. Multiple lens photographs is also divided into the three parts: three lens photographs, four lens photographs, and nine lens photographs. Maps. Maps are the most prominent product of photogrammetry. They are produced at various scales and degrees of accuracies. Planimetric map contains only the horizontal positions of ground feature, while topographic maps includes elevations data, usually in the form of color lines and spot elevations. Thematic map Thematic map emphasizes only one particular features, example transportation network. Comparisons of map and aerial photograph. A map can be directly traced out of an aerial photograph. The reason is that there is a basic difference in the planimetry projections and perspective of map and aerial photographs. The difference is given in table 1. Even vertical aerial photographs do not have a consistent scale unless they have been taken of a flat terrain. Aerial photographs need to be transformed from perspective view to planimetric view before they can be used as a map substitute. Such transformed photographs are known as orthophotos. Okay, this is the comparisons of the map and aerial photographs. Aerial photographs, it is a central projections. Aerial photographs, it is a central projections. Map, it is a orthogonal projections. Aerial photographs, it is a central projections. Map, it is a orthogonal projections. And aerial photographs is the geometrically incorrect. The distortions in the geometry minimum at the center and increase towards the edges of the photographs. A map is a geometrically correct. Representations of part of Earth is projected. The scale of photographs is not uniform. The scale of the map is uniform throughout the map extent. Enlargement reduction does not change the content. Enlargement reduction does not change the content of the photographs and can easily be carried out. Enlargement or reductions of the map involves redrawing it afresh. Aerial photography hold good for inaccessible and inhospitable areas. The mapping of inaccessible and inhospitable area is very difficult and sometimes it becomes impossible. Thank you very much for listening the lectures on aerial photogrammetry, and then we will meet again in this lecture series, photogrammetry survey part 3. Thank you very much again.